Okay, we have got a new set of earbuds, perfect for the frequent traveler and everyone in between. These right here are the world's first smart, active noise canceling earbuds for sleep, focus, meditation, just silence in general. These are the new Soundcore Sleep A30s. Let's get right into it. So this video is sponsored by Soundcore, so I'm gonna give you a full overview of the earbuds. We'll talk about the features, the functionality, and ultimately why you would even need a pair of smart noise canceling sleep earbuds. So let's just start there. First of all, if you're anything like me, I am a pretty frequent traveler, but airports are loud, airplanes are loud, cities are noisy. If I'm trying to get a good night's sleep on a long red-eye flight, these just really aren't that comfortable. Also, if I'm in a lounge and I'm working and I'm trying to get things done, I'm not interested in listening to music, I need to focus. Again, something like this is going to be a little bit more useful than, say, over-the-ear headphones with noise canceling. The other thing that I'll say is the house is quiet now. But I have 3 kids. They are running, playing, screaming, doing all types of things. And again, looking for focus time, or even if I just want to sit in some peace and quiet and meditate, it's really hard when there's so much happening in the home. So again, this is where a product like the Soundcore Sleep A30s would come into play. So let's talk about the product. You can see it right here in this little white pebble style pod. This is the charging case and the holders for the earpods. And the packaging overall is great. It comes with a number of different sizes and types of tips to help you get the best possible seal. When it comes to an earbud like this, seal is important. So they did include a ton of different options for all the different types of ears and ear shapes and ear sizes. Special call out to one of the earbud tip options that was included is the foam memory tips. These are gonna maximize noise reduction and all the passive noise isolation. So if you're looking for even quieter, even more deafening silence, definitely use the foam memory tips instead of these like silicone ones. Now the charging case and the pods themselves, I think the build quality of the charging case is really nice. It actually has a texturized kind of finish on the bottom and even along the side. I like that there's texture, especially here on the bottom. Just helps with grip, and if you place it down on the table, it's not gonna slide around. And this is especially helpful if you have this out when you're on the plane. It's not gonna slide off during takeoff or landing. This texturized grip actually makes a big difference. Moving to the front, you can see battery indicator here and a USB-C charging port in the back. And just like this, the earpods are available to you. I actually really like this. It does not feel flimsy, locks in place really nice. Some size specs that I will call out. These are 7% thinner than the previous generation, the A20s. And again, for your use case, that's great because these, like I mentioned, sit inside my ear. No protrusions. They use something called their shutter nozzle for comfort, which again is fantastic. And we'll see if the camera can focus on something so small. You can see a little bit of a logo here on each of the buds, and I'm just gonna place them into my ear. Take a look at the fitment here. I can't really hear myself talk, but as you can see here, they fit really well in my ears. The other thing I'm gonna call out is comfort. Since these are designed for long-term wear, you wear them when you sleep or when you're just focused or meditating for extended periods of time, you can see here, these are flush with my ear. So when I'm laying down on a pillow or if I'm on a plane, it doesn't matter what position I'm sleeping in, either on the back or on the side, the earbuds do not get in the way of the comfort there because they are recessed right inside my ear and they don't protrude out at all. They won't cause much ear fatigue, especially if you're doing like an 8-hour or 10-hour flight and you just want to get as much sleep as possible. The silicone tips are really soft, and again, it feels like they kind of hug the inside of my ear And after a couple of minutes, you don't even notice they're there, other than the deafening silence and me being alone with my thoughts. Let me just quickly jump into the app. Setup is super easy, like any set of Bluetooth headphones. We've got the Sleep A30s connected here. Once you get in here, this is primarily what you're seeing in this video and how I'm controlling the earbuds. We've got our earbuds in the corner. You can see the battery life. Of course, we have all the options that I'm going to talk about. Brainwave audio, snore masking, and white noise. Of course, you can go through here and just kind of pick what white noise you need. I'm going to let Soundcore do the work for me and leverage their AI features. Other things that are really helpful: sleep reporting. You can toggle active noise cancellation, snore masking settings, which are great, listening mode, sleep onset detect, set your bedtime and your reminders, which is really helpful, tap controls. So again, a lot of different options that you can set up here. And then what I'm also going to show you is sleep audio. This is, again, a lot of what you're going to see, especially if you're going to be using these for sleep. You can long press and it turns off. And that's just a quick overview of the app. So now let's get into the tech and the specs about how these actually work. So first of all, dual noise cancellation system. So you have smart active noise cancellation plus passive noise cancellation. Now, with the active noise cancellation, you can effectively block out things like snoring, pet sounds, appliance hums, outside traffic noise. So again, if some of you are trying to get focused and you're working or living in a big city, this will block out a lot of that noise. If you're anything like me, if you've got kids running around, this is going to help as well. I think more realistically for most of us, if you are traveling, if you're on a plane, that's going to be one of the most consistently noisy environments. Just the hum from the engines, people getting up, getting down, coughing, children, babies, people coming in and out of the bathrooms, depending on where your seats are. All those little noises on top of the constant hum of the airplane itself and all the creaks and cracks and all those things that happen when you're on a long flight for over 10 hours, this is going to block all of that out. And this is where I find the most value in the A30s, especially if you need to get some sleep. So how are these smart and different than standard noise canceling headphones? Well, they have this thing called an IC chip, and what it does is it analyzes the noise signals that it's hearing all around you in your surrounding environment, and then it generates an inverse sound wave that ultimately cancels it out. Added bonus for those of you that toss and turn when you're sleeping, the active noise canceling adapts to all of that movement and continues to help you cancel that out while ensuring that they're still pretty comfortable in your ears. Special mention, special shout out to my wonderfully patient wife. Snoring. This thing has a 3-stage snore masking system. My wife doesn't snore, but I do, so these are great for her, especially when we are on vacation. She already doesn't sleep well in foreign places and different hotels. Add my snoring, add the kids snoring and like tossing and turning, it's not going to be helpful or great for her beauty rest. So this has that snore masking system, which works in partnership with the charging case. Ultimately, what happens is you place the charging case in the room near the bed, and the charging case actually monitors the snoring in real time throughout the night. It analyzes that snoring pattern with what Soundcore says is like 93% accuracy. And then the earbuds delivers that customized masking audio, and it's tuned specifically to the snore volume and the pitch of the snore. So what works best for me is I will plug the charging case in at night, place it next to the bed, and then, either I or my wife will use these, and this can stay on and analyze the snoring all night. Another interesting feature that's hard to demonstrate, and honestly, a lot of these features are going to be hard to demonstrate for you because how am I supposed to demonstrate silence, is AI brainwave audio. And ultimately, What soundcore is saying is that it uses this binaural beat to deliver different frequencies to each ear, which helps sync your brain waves with calming patterns to promote relaxation and restful sleep. I don't know if any of you doom scroll Instagram or TikTok. Sometimes I come across like a post that's like 86 hertz. This sound is the most calming frequency ever. I'm assuming a much more intelligent, similar concept where this AI brainwave audio is designed to deliver a frequency of sound that's going to create sereneness, calmness, help you sleep, and it does it differently for each of your ears. Next, let's talk about sleep monitoring. I used to sleep with a Oura ring or a smart tracking ring, or maybe even a Whoop band, just something that's kind of comfortable to track my sleep at night. These have sleep tracking built in, so if you're wearing them already to improve your sleep and kind of keep the environment quiet, these will also track your sleep performance, which is a great added benefit. On that same topic of sleep, again, you can use this for focus, meditation, whatever, but the most extensive use case, I'm assuming for you, is probably going to be sleep. So battery life. First of all, 9 hours of usage per charge, which is great. You know, if I can get 8 hours a night, that is chef's kiss. 9 hours, perfectly fine. You get 45 full hours with the charging case. So again, once you go to bed, you wake up, maybe you got 8 hours of sleep, drop these into the charging case, close it up. You've got several more nights of sleep here on a single charge in the charging case. And of course, you can always plug this in. Now the Soundcore A30s launched on August 18th, so they're available now. You can pick them up on Amazon. I'll leave some links in the description below. Overall, I personally like these a lot. And as I mentioned, as someone who travels, I carry a lot of tech and gear. Because of the size, the form factor, the charging case adds no weight, no extra space to my existing travel setup. I'll continue to test these and maybe put out a long-term review. I've got a couple of international trips coming up in September and October, and then November I'm heading on a 21-hour flight over to Asia. So we're gonna get a ton of use out of these, and there's no way I'm not sleeping on a 21-hour flight. So these are gonna come in pretty handy. All right, if you like this video, hit that like button, subscribe for more videos just like this. I will catch you all in the next one.